Hello, everyone. Welcome to Peace and Healing Harmony. Today, I have a new person on the channel. We will talk about the crystal, what is used for, and what kind of message with the energy that they can tell us. So I present you Lyndsy. Hi, Lyndsy. How are you?
Good. How are you? I'm doing well.
I'm well. I'm well, thank you. Yes, so can you talk about a little bit about you, what you do, and just so the audience know a little bit about you, about yourself?
Yes. Oh, hello. Ashley has joined. Yay.
Yes.
So I, hello. So today, or I do several things. I started out um, having a spa with my in-laws, and I had been like a body wrapper to do body wraps and stuff. And so we opened a spa and we did laser hair removal, but we got some estheticians in there. And I went to school to be an esthetician to know more than our clients or more than our employees. So I could
Okay.
figure out why they weren't keeping clients. Turns out I don't think they like what they did, and that was part of the issue. But so I went to this really good aesthetic school that I got to learn energy work, and it kind of changed my
Oh,
whole life. Oh, you're there we
yeah,
go.
sorry.
Oh, you're good. So I went after aesthetic school and learning energy work. I turned out to have a knack for it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm an empath!" This like it like made my whole childhood make more sense. And so I started doing that, and then I eventually did massage therapy, and I do now I'm focused on I do crystal healing, which
Wow, okay.
is balancing the chakras and energy work, and with the crystals help. Um, I also do akashic readings, as well as like oracle and tarot readings. But I do also like a crystal healing where I open the akashic records while you're on there so we can get guidance on where you're stuck and what the core of the issue is. So it helps a lot, and the crystals a lot of times they don't want to come off the body, and they end up staying with the person because they're like, nope, I'm going home with them. So I'm
That's
a
wonderful.
I'm a crystal traveler.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's great. So welcome, Ashley. How are you?
I'm so good, thank you. It's nice to meet you.
Yes, same here. So tell us a little bit about you.
Well, when I was little, I'd have terrifying dreams of future events. And they were always scary ones. Like, it always seemed like the bad ones. But then I started to have dreams of, like, nieces and nephews before they were born, and I know what gender, or even when someone was pregnant and stuff. So I kind of had that psychic knowingness going, and as an empath, which knowing that sooner would have helped a lot. I used to do card readings, like with face cards. My aunt taught me how to do that. So I used to do that for my friends and stuff. And then I learned uh, my early 20s, and I think that's when the for me using trope.
You cut out, Ash. I couldn't hear
Yeah.
you. Is there
I don't want to
connection?
get this information, or I do. So is the connection bad?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yes.
you cut out for a second there.
Second.
Oh, okay. I think I have to hold my phone in one spot. So, but yeah, that's kind of my background with readings, and I do akashic readings. I do energy healing.
Oh, that's
I'm a medium. Like, I hear and talk to the other side all the time. So
I see. So that's how you two met, with all the same, you're doing the same thing. So
We actually were baby bumps together. Like our moms were pregnant together. So we've known each other since we were born practically. So
okay,
Yeah, Lyndsay's
okay,
like
wonderful.
30 days older than me, or not 24 or something. It's very close.
oh my gosh,
Okay,
Ashley, that
that's
means your
great.
birthday is tomorrow. How exciting.
This tomorrow.
Oh, that's cool. So, Lyndsay, how do you work with actually the crystal when you massage people? How does he, let's say someone come to you, a client come to you, what happened? How do you choose the crystal?
So most crystals, it's interesting because I do it always by intuition, but I knew a few crystals and kind of their properties. Mostly it goes by color. So like red is going to be good for root chakras, or like black stones are usually good for protection. Um, and then orange is going to be good for the orange chakra. And so far, like in rainbow order, it doesn't always do it that way. And recently I have I thought I wanted to be a geologist. I went to school at the beginning of this year, but I realized I just wanted to learn more about the properties of rocks and the science behind the rocks. So I did do that, but then I work at a crystal shop right now. So I have really, over the last 6 months, been really getting to know crystals. And I know quite a few now, and knowing their properties has actually really helped um, me understand a little bit more of why the crystal wanted to go there. But really the crystals talk to me, like I talk to rocks. I've just accepted it and they tell me where they want to go. But they do have, like, for example, like fluorite, like this is fluorite, and there's several different colors. So it can be blue, green, purple, and then there's these dark purples. And this is what fluorite usually looks like. It's kind of a mixture.
Okay.
So like each fluorite helps with mental clarity, but each color is going to give it an extra, because colors have vibration. And usually it lines up with the chakra. But sometimes what happens is the rock, if it's like a heartstone, like this is rose quartz, it's a very mother stone, it's very comforting. And sometimes this comforting stone will want to go on the solar plexus, like they need comfort in their self-love. Or it will go on their throat, like they need love in their communication. So it depends on, a lot of times, sometimes they'll switch to help bring balance to it. And most of the time they'll stay there. It's really odd. I'll go over, because I'll check the chakras. Sometimes I do it with a pendulum, but I can feel the energy if it's stuck.
Okay.
And
sorry, can you just give me 1 minute, please? Keep going, just 1 minute. Thanks.
Yeah. So yeah, you want me to keep talking?
Yes.
Okay. So I do the chakra, I check the energies over the person, and when it's stuck, I can feel like it's a lack of movement, because there should be always like flow in the chakras, balancing. And so I will help it flow, and like kind of sometimes I'll grab the stuck part, and then I'll just throw it away, but I'll transmute it. I don't just pull out the negative and just let it go off on its own. I'll take it out and then, like transmute it to love when I throw it out, or whatever comes to me to transmute the energy, because energy follows thought, and we can change the frequency and change the vibration of the energy. You can't destroy it or create it, but it can be changed. So I transmute it into a better energy. So there's just not stuck energies out there attaching to someone else.
Yeah, and does your clients are really open? Do you have a lot of clients coming to you?
Well, I stopped kind of doing, I stopped working during the whole 2020.
Yeah.
I just started working again, and I moved to a new city. So I do have a few clients. And I have some clients I've had for 10 years that I do massage on occasionally, and I'll do mobile massage. But I do mostly friends and family right now, just because I started my practice up. But I'm focusing a lot more on that and Akashic readings, and because I can do crystal healing remotely. I prefer to do it in person, but it can be done remotely. So that's I've been kind of moving here and there, so haven't been in a settled place for a while to have a big clientele, but I've got lots of other things going on.
Okay. Okay, I see. And what attracts you to the crystal?
I have always liked rocks since I was little.
Okay.
I collect them and stuff. And then when I did crystal healing, like I liked doing the energy work, but it put this whole other energy to it. And I think, I don't know, I have some rock friends and they started like talking to me. So I'm like, okay, I guess I feel like I'm like a rock. Like I get them to where they need to be. Sometimes a rock will have me buy it and I know it's not for me. And I'm like, okay, so I'll bread it. And then the person who it's for will come in really soon. And I know it's going to go to somebody else. So I feel like I'm like a conduit to help the crystals go where they need to go. As weird as that sounds. But this one time, my Merlinite, this is Merlinite, it told me to wear him while I was going into the Akashic records. And so I'm like, okay. And so I wore him and I like time traveled, like my mind time traveled to another spot. And I was having this conversation with someone in the past. And it was like a past life of mine. It was really weird. And I was having this conversation and then I traveled back, and then my mom passed away when I was younger.
Okay.
And I'm like, am I able to ask my mom a question? And it was like she was waiting for me to ask, and she came in and just started writing like this whole thing. And it was really odd. And then come to find out, I was looking through my crystal Bible and it said that Merlinite will help you time travel in the records. So I didn't know that, but the Merlinite knew what it did. So that's how I knew I talked to rocks, because it told me what it did and it's exactly what happened. So yeah,
that's a quite experience.
Yeah, it was wild. So rocks are definitely a tool. Like they help the vibration. We still have to do our work, but they help assist, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I see. That's wonderful. That's really. And how long did you say you are working? You are actually working instead with the really now connecting with the crystals.
I've been an esthetician for 17 years and a massage therapist. So I've done energy work for 17 years, and I've done massage or crystal healing for about 15, 13 of that. So I used to do it quite a bit, and it's just the whole 2020 thing.
That's changed
pushed
everything.
me in different directions, but I still really enjoy doing and I do crystal healing for myself all the time. If you saw how many rocks were on my table right now. This is my favorite one. This is my
Oh,
Um,
wow.
this is my
Amazing.
unicorn stone. I got this for myself for my birthday. It's
Amazing.
it's called a unicorn stone, but it has one of my favorite stones, which is lepidolite. It has four other stones as well, but it's a fun one. So yeah, it's hard not to come home with all the crystals in the shop.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I received some crystals from
You cut out.
friends. Because I didn't
You
know
cut
what.
out,
Well,
Beverly. I
I'm
couldn't
not
hear
a.
you.
Can you hear me?
Now I
Can you
can.
hear me?
Yeah, you were. Yeah,
Okay,
now I
sorry.
can. You cut it.
Okay. Yeah. So I was the Did you? Yeah, the crystals that my friends gave me. There was a lot of energy. Actually, I connected, I think, with the crystals, but since I don't know much about it, I just put it away, you know. But since we talked about it last time on, the other channels, now I'm going back to it. I really want to appropriate myself with the crystals that I have and see what what will happen.
I am a big fan. Like I always say, the rock chooses the person, and if a rock has come to you, uh, and there's certain times where there's certain rocks I need more than others, and it usually coincides with my emotions. So I like to have rocks in my pocket all the time, but they're usually different ones depending on the day and what I need for that day.
Yeah. And what can you say that what is let's say the difference between someone who's going for a traditional massage and one with the rock? What can you say that is more what
Uh,
the person will gain by doing with the crystals?
Right. So it's an energy work. So I don't do any massage usually. Well, that's actually not true. I almost always do a scalp massage with every treatment because
Mhm.
it's just lovely. But it helps release a lot of tension when you release. And I do like a cranial sacral lift um, to help the neck and stuff. But for the most part, the massage is going to be, a custom massage. And I always do a little bit of energy work because I can't help it. It's just
Yeah,
who I
it's
am.
just yeah, I
Yeah.
understand. Same for me.
But so the crystal healing, they're fully clothed, they lay on the table. And usually I put a blanket on, and then the stones, I'll put them on the chakras. Like usually
Okay.
either like a third eye stone will go here. And some people see colors, some people see visuals, and some people just feel really good. So it helps clear any stuck energy. So it's going to be more focused on the energy of it. I do a combination one where it with essential oils. So it's the doTERRA Touch, which puts your body into, they claim it puts your body into homeostasis, but I feel when I do it before the energy work, it helps the body just be calm. And you put several essential oils on, so it's like a 30-minute massage. It's a light massage, a little bit on the feet, and then when I flip them over, I'll do the crystal healing. And it's like it prepares their body to receive the energy work more. Sometimes I will do like a crystal healing on someone, and they only booked an hour, and it's like 45 minutes, and the rocks are still not wanting to come off because like it may have taken a while for their body, because people do have to accept it, right? And sometimes it takes a while for them to relax enough to accept the energy work.
Mm.
um and so that's kind of fun. But I have done sessions where it took 2 hours, and
Wow.
I just it was for my friends, so I just did it because they really needed some clearing.
I'm sure. And you uh, does it have an impact on yourself when you do that? Because it takes a lot of energy too.
Yes, and actually I have this one time I was doing some energy work and I had an obsidian necklace on. And obsidian draws out negativity. So it just totally draws out negativity. And this person was having a really hard time. And it was when I was actually in massage school and I was just feeling sad all day because normally what I do is after I do a massage or after doing any energy work, I'll make sure I wash my hands and then I like kind of just throw any excess energy off transmuting that has stuck on me because I have a hard time wearing shoes or socks when I do any of it because to ground. And so that helps as well. But I didn't know that obsidian had all that negative. So I kept saying, I'm like, I can't shake this energy. It doesn't feel like my own. And my teacher said, well, you know that that's obsidian and it draws out negative energy. And as soon as I took it off, it was like the weight of the world came off. It was like a physical, I was like, whoa. So like it just needed to be cleared. So that was my first experience of, yes, be very mindful of what jewelry I'm wearing. So usually when I'm doing crystal healing, I don't wear any jewelry or any stones because I don't want to, yeah. But
to interfere. Yeah.
Or
because
selenite, I can,
usually they don't recommend to have actually any jewelry when you do the healing with the energy because sometimes you have interference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So probably that's what you experience that day.
Absolutely. So, and it's obsidian is a great one to draw negative, but it needs to be cleared a lot because if you have too much obsidian, like you don't want to sleep with it by your bed because it will just keep drawing energy from you.
Okay.
So there are some that are really strong energetically that need to be cleared a lot. And I like to keep my obsidian with the selenite in the bag. So it just kind of hangs out over there.
I see. And how do you clean your crystals?
So there's several different ways. You can put them out in the sun to charge them. You can also put them in a full moon. I mostly just put them on selenite slabs. So here I've got my prophecy stone on here. So I have like a slab and it's got, the labradorite, and I just put them on here and the selenite will actually charge them and clear them. So I have quite a few different, like I've got long skinny ones. I've got like a moon bowl that I'll put some stuff in. And then like this desert rose is also selenite. It's just a different.
I don't see it. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the way the selenite grows. And so I like to put that by things as well. So that's really the best way to clear it is through selenite.
I heard also when you put you need to put in the glass a crystal glass and water. I heard that too. Is it possible?
Yes, you can cleanse them that way as well. There are certain stones that you wouldn't want to put in water. Like for example, selenite will dissolve, but selenite doesn't need to be cleared. It clears everything else and it's self-clearing. But yeah, there's some you can put it in water and bless the water. I have a Genesis stone. These are like 2 billion years old. They're really cool. I have a couple different ones, but I have a littler one that I put in my water and it actually charges the water and makes it structured. So this is my little heart one I found. So so I do put that in water because it actually structures the water and makes it I don't know if you've ever heard of structured water, but it charges the water. And I also tell my water I love it every day. So
and you can drink it.
And you can drink it. Shungite, my friend who owns the crystal shop, she puts shungite and Genesis stone in all of her water, even like her pet's water, because shungite is a natural. It's like a it's like a carbon filter, but natural. It filters the water. So yeah, there's
Oh,
rocks and stones and crystals have lots of fun
yeah,
properties.
I'm sure there is a lot to learn about it.
Yeah, it's interesting. When I moved here, I went to the crystal shop, and I think I spent more money than I should have on the first day I went there. But I do actually think that I was called here to actually get the rocks, because they give the little papers out what
Oh,
they do.
uh-huh.
And so I put them on, and it's the only time I work with crystals for so many years. And now I actually know what most of them are. I mean, I knew the basics like the rose quartz and the citrine and the aventurine and things like that. But now I can tell the difference between black tourmaline, uh, obsidian, and black onyx, and it's very difficult. So
That's
I'm like,
wonderful.
yay. So the universe I was like, I want to learn in my own way. And the universe literally brought me here, and I learned all about crystals. So I could talk about all day. I love them.
So, do you have any projects that you would like to maybe expand with what you do right now? Do you have any project or no,
Yeah.
not
Well,
yet?
Ashley and I, besides our podcast, we are really trying to, part of why we want to do a podcast is to bring out like-minded and showcase our gifts that we have that most people may not understand about, and all the people that have supernatural gifts, if you will, and bring together. And we have our big thing is Rainbow Hollow. So we want to do it's our humanitarian project, and we want to do a healing center in the center of it.
That's great.
Yeah, and like have a whole community where we have our own, like where people live there, and it's a self-sustaining community with a healing center. So that's our big thing, and what we see, them all over, and like having a bridges so we can all live freely. Mainly for like, we want to have a sanctuary for animals, but I've been homeless, and when you see all the people out there, and I want a safe space for teenagers, I want a safe space for single moms, for even adult males. We're all just a safe place for people that can come figure out their soul purpose without having to worry about where they're going to get their next meal. Where they can really come and work on themselves and figure out what they want to do, and either be part of the community or move on somewhere else. And I want to be a safe space and have this for anyone to come. And what it looks like when it's done, I don't know, but I feel like it's there in the future. So
Wow, it's gonna be
that's our
amazing.
main
Yeah,
project.
definitely. That's great. I know there is a lot of people thinking also that kind of project, but like in different country in the world. And how do you plan? How, if people are interested, let's say for maybe to join or to participate on your project, what can they do?
Well, we are looking for, Ashley's in Florida right now, and she, where have you guys decided where you're going yet? Ash? Does she hear
No,
me?
we're floating. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we're hanging out just in Central Florida along the coast, just kind of looking for other options. I really want to go toward the food forest abundance guy. Have you guys heard of him? He's a perma food. I forget what they call it, but he takes like just even an acre. You guys can't hear me. And he can create so much food in like 1 acre to feed so many people. And so we want to learn from him and implement some of that. And I think that would help with like Rainbow Hollow. we've also talked about going down to Costa Rica and creating like our own version of Rainbow Hollow once Rainbow Hollow is up and going, where we could be in Costa Rica or Belize. So right now we're kind of in that waiting period, just kind of waiting to see where the wind takes us next, you know. And it's been fun adventure, following the flow and learning where the universe wants us to be. So I wanted to mention, it's a little off topic, but this last week I kept hearing Bev, 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 and I had an Aunt Bev who I adored, and she passed away like 15 years ago. But I started to think, I'm like, I wonder if it was this call, like more I was hearing that we're gonna have this call, not my Aunt Bev. So I love the synchronicities. So
Yeah, me too.
So fun. So we need, I do have a plan, and we did put a humanitarian project in, but we need land, and I have a friend who builds tiny homes for single moms. So we have a few partners that once we get land and start getting started, it's gonna just go really good. So that's figuring out land, figuring out where it's going to be and things. And I have some ideas, and that's my focus. Starting next month, I'm moving to a place where that's what my focus is going to be, is figuring out a plan and how we move forward with this, if that makes sense.
So, well, when you will be more in advance, or when you know, we can do another video, and I will put the information for people who wants to participate, maybe some partner that that want to join also your project. That will be wonderful.
And if there's anyone out there that wants to donate land in Utah, please, we would be happy to receive it for a good cause.
Yeah, definitely. And so I will share your podcast also under the video. So people who want to reach you, they have all the information about the podcast or how to reach you, actually. So
Absolutely.
That will be.
We have Indigo Goddess, and we have YouTube. We also have a Telegram channel, and I am going to start doing sound bowls next month, at least once a week, live on there. And we want to start doing some meditations as well on our channel as well. So yeah, so we are on Instagram as well.
Okay, that's wonderful. Anything that you would like to add, Ashley? We didn't hear much about you.
I just here listening, enjoying. I do want to tell one story that Lyndsy had one day picked up a rock on a street and just was like, oh, that's an interesting rock, and didn't really think much of it. And she was living in a house at that time, just kind of a room, right, Linz? And then was it a whole year later that you found out that someone else really close to you, their parents live on that same street, and you had picked up that rock from his parents' yard? Like it. So Lyndsy really does hear from the rocks, and I have witnessed where they ask her to leave it, and then there's a reason why, or she picks up one from one place and takes it to another. She is incredibly connected, so that's really cool.
That was weird. I was living with my friend, and across the street, like I was just going for a walk, and somehow this rock called to me, and I kind of felt like, because I'd left like an indentation, and I'm like, it's kind of weird, but I feel like the rock wants to come to me. So I did a whole walk and I kept it, and I'm like, I kind of felt like I needed to take it back, but I'm like, no, I think it's for me. Then one of my best friends who I met here, she works at the crystal shop with me, actually. We drove up to her mom's house because we were helping her mom out with her food truck. And so we went there. It was the same house, but I didn't even notice because I was really tired. We'd had a long day, and there was a rock there. And I'm like, oh, that's a really cool rock.
Yeah.
And I picked it up and I was like, is it okay if I have this rock? And she said, yeah. And then when I got home is when all the memories came flooding back. I'm like, that is the same house. And I went and got the rock. They were like the same rock. I don't know what it is, but it was from the same house. It was 3 years later, 3 years. And I'm like, Jenny, that's weird. And they are part of my soul family, which I find really interesting. So weird things with rocks.
Amazing. Wow. You have quite experience and a lot of things to share, I see.
Well, and
May
I
have been
keep
one of the
hearing that you
Well,
should.
thank you very much.
What'd you say, Ash?
I was saying I keep hearing that Beverly or crystals that your friends gave you want to come out and play. I bet you'll start hearing a lot more from them now that you've spent this hour with Lyndsy. It's like it activates something in you. So
Okay. I have to, they need to be outside.
Absolutely.
I do that because at the moment they are, I put it in the drawer. So yes, I've been thinking that since, our last meeting with Michelle. So thank you, Ashley, for the for the message. I will do that, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you for having us,
Yeah.
Beverly.
Oh, it was a pleasure. And I hope this is not the last one. We will probably have other interesting conversation. I look forward anyway.
Well, now I want you to come to on our podcast so we can interview you.
Yeah, that will be great. Yeah, that will be great. Thank you very much, Lyndsy and Ashley. And I talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you, Beverly.
all right, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Have a good day. Bye bye.